welcome to The Winning Factor. I'm Alan Aitken, and on this show each week we take a look at some upcoming races in Hong Kong and try to isolate an element of the race that we might look back on later as having been crucial to the outcome. Well, Group 1 racing is back on Sunday at Sha Tin. Two Group 1s plus the second leg of the 4-year-old series, so a big day's racing. And there's plenty of information, interviews and so forth around the Hong Kong Jockey Club website for the Group 1s. I'm going to look at a couple of the other races, and the first of those comes up in race 5, and our winning factor here, the tempo. And when we take a look at the field, there'll be a few fans for horses like Oscar Glory or Sam's Love, Breeze of Spring down in the handicaps. But I think this will come down to pretty much a two-horse race for most punters between Master Hero and Charity Grace. And as luck would have it, they met recently in a race on January 24, and we're going to take a look at that race. This is race 366 of the current season, and Master Hero in aqua colours, gate 1, jumps a little bit awkwardly, but he soon finds a good position following a genuine pace along the rail in about 5th or 6th. While Charity Grace, he's in the purple colours, gate 14, goes all the way back to the rear, then crosses over to the fence, and he gives Master Hero about 5 lengths through most of the race. Then they turn for home. Master Hero gets through on the inside, chases down the leaders, and Charity Grace, he comes through really finishing off strongly, much stronger than Master Hero in fact, and runs him to a neck at the finish. So when we look at the map for Sunday's race, how they set up at the start, and this time, once again, Master Hero draws well, and this time Charity Grace also draws well. In fact, inside his major rival here, he meets him 3 pounds better at the weights as well, so checkmate, you say. In a race with very little speed, the idea is that the lower draw helps Charity Grace take a similar position to Master Hero this time, without 5 lengths to make up, and that should seal the deal. And I've no doubt that Charity Grace is going to be our favourite in this race on that basis, but I'm nothing if not a contrarian. And I want to show you another replay of Charity Grace. And this is going back a couple of starts, race 259. This is the last time that he drew an inside gate and was ridden closer to the speed. This is in December, also over 1400 metres, and there he is in the first 5 on the rail in running, in a race with a more stop-start tempo than the replay we've just seen. More like what I think we're going to see on Sunday this time. And in the run down the straight, Charity Grace is just not as effective. In fact, his final 400 metre sprint here, almost a second slower than the one we saw when he wound up from out the back. And he just holds his position here in the sprint home. So in a race that could be a little bit stop-start again, I think that's a little query with the favourite. So the tip in race 5, Master Hero. His winning factor, the tempo. I think Charity Grace is probably the better horse of the two. Certainly if there was speed on, he would, I think, comfortably beat Master Hero. But just that little worry that he might not be as effective getting home in a more stop-start tempo gives Master Hero a chance to beat him again. Second race we're going to take a look at is race 9, and here our winning factor is the race shape. Now this is the second leg of the 4-year-old series, the Hong Kong Classic Cup over 1800 metres, and the designated lead up to this, of course, the Classic Mile over 1600 metres, and the winner of that race, Excellent Proposal, sure to be at the top of discussions again, along with his stablemate and runner-up in that race, Lucky Express. We have Delightful Lau, who brings some different form to the race, coming from Happy Valley, while other beaten runners from the Classic Mile like Shadow Hero, Sky Darcy, Tourbillon Diamond, Lucky Patch and Shadow Hero will all have cases made for them. It's a pretty deep sort of race. But most of them are coming out of the Classic Mile, so let's take a look back at that race to see what we can discover. And this is about a month ago. It's race 371, and the key here is the heat map, a very strong first half. Now pre-race this looked like it would be a slowly run event, but Shadow Hero and Lucky Patch tipped that upside down by duelling for the lead in what was a very fast speed, and so we see the Eventual winner, Excellent Proposal in purple colours. The runner-up, Lucky Express, also in purplish colours. And third place, Tourbillon Diamond in red and green colours, all in the similar area of the field in the second half, not working so hard and having the advantage over the horses in front of them. And the key move here is Blake Shin taking Excellent Proposal to the outside, approaching the home straight, while Lucky Express and Tourbillon Diamond, they stay in and they have horses in front of them, so they get held up while the winner has all the momentum down the middle of the track. Now, one thing to remember about the Classic Mile going into the Classic Cup is how different the styles of race are, and it shows in the results. Here are the last 10 years worth of Classic Miles and Classic Cups, and something that really sticks out here, considering it's usually the same group of horses running in both races, is how few favourites have won and how many big surprises turn up in the Classic Cup over the extra 200 metres. And a big part of that, I think, is how differently the races are run. There is not really a pattern with the Classic Mile, though there's usually a fast section somewhere in the race, but the 1800 metre course at Sha Tin with a 1000 metre run to the first turn tends to produce quite evenly run races in general, not that fast or slow usually, and the Classic Cup follows that pattern. And also part of the change is that many of these horses are running 1800 metres for the first time in their lives, and for some that's a good thing, for some not so good. And it isn't always clear which of those groups horses are going to fit in, the ones who are advantaged or disadvantaged by the different style of race. And when we take a look at the map for this year's race, well, like the Classic Mile, it suggests a moderate speed. There is no obvious leader, although a number of horses who can take up the front. And maybe that depends on whether Shadow Hero returns to his more usual pattern of racing back, or whether any other pair engages in an unexpected duel for the front, as they did in the Classic Mile. On face value, a steady pace seems more on the cards, which might not help those horses running on the way that the pace did last time. So the tip in race 9, Lucky Patch. His winning factor, the race shape. I think we saw in the Classic Mile, it was a brutal race shape for leaders. He was sharing the lead. I think this will be a little bit different. And in a race that's known for its surprises, I think that Lucky Patch could surprise a few people here. Well, that's it for the winning factor this week. Enjoy your Group 1 racing on Sunday. We'll see you next time.